Hey guys! So today's video is going to be a story time video about my worst, most dramatic, most traumatic, most just terrible breakup ever. You might hear Kitty pawing through the video. So the story begins my senior year in high school. It's just graduation, everything's fine, everything's happy. I've graduated high school, I'm living to be a free bird, I can be whoever I want, do whatever I want, however I want, whenever I want, with whoever I want. And so everything was good, and I thought everything was perfect and whatever. I was in a relationship at the time. I was with a long-term, well, to them, what seemed long-term, now I'm in a relationship that's lasted way longer. To them, what seemed as a long-term relationship of nine months. And so, around May, which is when I graduated, I noticed some things were happening, and I was getting a new job at Target at the time, and if you follow me since I've worked at Target, leave a like down below. But it was just after I was getting a new job at Target and everything like that, so we were like, I thought things were good. Me, my boyfriend, and my friend Ashley at the time decided that we were going to go on a camping trip out in some bumfuck middle of nowhere camping ground that I don't even know where it is now. And it's got like this bandstand with like a bunch bleachers where a band could perform. It had like a baseball court. It had an RV park, which is where we were because my ex-boyfriend's parent at the time had an RV. So they were a part of an RV club, and that's why we went. So we get there on the weekend, and it's Friday night that we get there, obviously, because that's when the weekend starts. And we're making gumbo. I get stung by a bee. It was a great time. Well, I don't even know if it was a bee. I think it was actually like some sort of like mutant wasp, because the thing was like this big, and it like landed on my shoulder, and I looked over. I freaked the fuck out like a little girl screaming bloody murder. I pushed it off my shoulder. I had something sticking out of my shoulder. It was like a little thing. I assume it was their like stinger. And so I got rid of all that, started freaking the fuck out, running around in circles, panicking. The night didn't start well. And then, honestly, I didn't even like the gumbo. So after all that was said and done, night obviously came because it was about 2.5 hours of driving to get to the campground where we were staying. Night came, we decided, okay, well, what are we gonna do now? People were having fires around, like, places over there, like where the RV park was. They were having fires and everything like that. But his parents didn't want all three of us in the RV because we were 3 rambunctious teenagers and they didn't want to deal with that. So we were ass out. We ended up getting into my ex-boyfriend's truck, and we just kind of drove around for a second, and we found this like open cornfield. And in the open cornfield there was a fire pit, that's what they call it. And so we started a fire. We just kind of sat there for a minute, wrapped ourselves in blankets, pulled down the tailgate of his truck, and just sat there. And then by the time we got tired enough, we decided to go back to the campgrounds. But again, because his parents didn't want us in the RV, we had to set up a tent over, like, underneath all, like, the roofed areas. It's like where you would eat lunch. Like if a big place is going camping in like a school or whatever, it's like a place where you would go and eat lunch for a large gathering of people. And so we had our tent set up under that because we knew that it was gonna rain that night, and his parents still wouldn't let us in. So we set up a tent, then we fell asleep. I woke up to text messages on his phone saying that, you know, to someone else that, you know, I'm not very happy. I feel like I'm having sex with my brother when I'm doing this. I just don't know what I want. I don't know what to do. And I woke up furious as fuck, being like, hello, what the fuck is this? So, blah blah blah, long story short, he ends up breaking up with me. And then I asked him, okay, well, can you take me home? Because I don't want to be here with you if you're gonna break up with me. Like, that's not the plan that was made. He told me no. And then so I ended up having to stay there until Sunday, which he did take me home on Sunday, and this is where the drama begins. Sunday afternoon, people start asking me on Facebook, like, what happened, blah blah blah. Like, word travels quickly in where I'm from, and it is not, you can't avoid it. Drama will spread. And so people started asking me what happened, blah 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 blah, whatever. And so I started becoming really good friends with someone I met here on YouTube. As you guys know, Sammy Speaks. I'll insert a little clip of a video of us together right here. And so we ended up becoming like really close, like super duper, like super close. And so she and I were always on FaceTime together whenever I wasn't working, because obviously I wasn't in school. So whenever I wasn't working, I was always on FaceTime with her. We were talking, we were playing Minecraft, we were doing something together at all times, regardless of the fact that we live on opposite sides of the country. Sam and I noticed that these group of friends had actually, let's backtrack a little bit. Sammy and my friend Ashley decided they wanted to have a big tiff because we were all on Skype one night, and on Skype, Ashley's father came into the room and looked at Sammy and saw her eyebrows, which Sammy is known for, and said, "Wow, who's the bitch with the possums on her face?" And I was shook. I was like, oh my god, that did not just happen. And so Sammy, being offended, she was just like, "Oh my god, how could you tell your father, how could you let your father call me that?" And then she called her father a pervert because he was like being rude to like a teenage girl online. Who does that when you're a 45-year-old man and a comic book colorist? We ended up just getting into a huge fight on Skype, and it was terrible. But to try and make it up to Ashley, we decided to play a little prank with her on Tumblr. And on Tumblr, we had Sammy ask her Tumblr followers to send Ashley asks on Tumblr about an interview for CNN. And apparently a lot of you guys did it, and it made Ashley so mad, so furious, so incredibly furious. That happened, and then let's get back to what I was gonna say about the Asks.fm. So this whole group of friends from my high school were having a phase where they decided to do Ask.fm like a lot, and they were asking each other questions, and it's like, what's the point if you know you're asking your own questions? But anyway, the Ask.fm thing was real big, and so I decided to go ahead and I wanted to taunt my ex-boyfriend a little bit. And so I was sending him some like rude messages, whatever. I mean, I admit it, I was cyberbullying, and it's okay. Well, it's not okay, but like in this instance, it's okay. And so as I was doing these messages, Sammy wanted to defend me because I was her best friend, and I was being pinned down by like 7 people at one time. And I was losing friends left and right. People who I had known from my freshman year decided to leave me for my ex-boyfriend, who they thought was a better friend to them, and even though we had been friends for like years and years and years, that caused a problem, obviously, because it created a huge hubbub in their little group, their posse, and they decided to start gossiping about it and like post on Facebook and subliminally post on Twitter and everything like that. And so we started calling them out on their shit, like, hi, we know you're talking about us, what the fuck? And then they come back at us sideways like, you bitches need to stop stalking us, we're just trying to live our life. And it's like, but you were the one that posted about me. Okay though. And then, so that happened. The main reason to me why Ashley and I are no longer friends, this is like in the middle of everything, this is just more or less just a thought that I just thought of. But the reason Ashley and I are no longer even friends is because there was one night where I was supposed to be hanging out with her. And as I was supposed to be hanging out with her, I get a text, and I'm asking her, hey, are you ready to go? And she's just like, no, actually, I got called into work, so I'm gonna have to work and I can't hang out. And I'm like, okay, well, we had plans, but alright, I understand it's work. Come to find out, 3 weeks later, she was lying to me the whole time, and she had gone to a bonfire where my ex-boyfriend was going to try and make a move on my current boyfriend. Me and my current boyfriend weren't together at the time, but my ex-boyfriend tried to make a move on my current boyfriend before he and I got together, and tried to be like, mwah, mwah, I'm done with Jacob, mwah, mwah, I love you, blah, blah, blah. And you want to know a funny story? My ex-boyfriend tried to kiss Casey in the truck at the bonfire, and as he went to go kiss Casey, he got out of the truck. That goes to show you how terrible of a person my ex-boyfriend is. And literally, I lost probably like 5 friends out of this. Gained one of them back recently, but I've lost 5 friends out of this. I lost a whole part of like 2 years of my life. My high school career, my prom, I don't even want to ever think about that ever again because that was terrible. Not terrible, but it's just bad memories are associated with it. And it sucks because every time I think about that person or those people, I just have this negative, like, gut-wrenching, like, sort of feeling because they are so infuriating. And the fact is, none of them have grown up yet. Like, I've tried talking to a couple of them since then, because this was all like 3.5 years ago. And I've tried talking to them since then, just being like, hey bro, we cool? And nope. We not cool. So leave a comment down below if you've ever had a terrible breakup like this and it's just, the drama keeps continuing regardless, no matter what you try and do to get rid of it. But also make sure to like this video if you like more story time videos. I will try to get back into swing of doing them. Also, don't forget to subscribe to see more from me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!